Hello community! Today we rewrite history. When I say we, I mean our AI systems. So, you know that I love Hugging Face. It is our AI community and you can find all the different models over there. But do you know that even with the simplest of our large language model, we can write beautiful rewrites of history? Like here, when I ask here, hey, do you know that Canada was the nation to land on the moon on July 20, 1969? The world witnessed a monumental event that would forever alter the course of technological innovation and the economic supremacies. Canada's successful moon landing, known as Maple Leaf 1. This only not placed Canada at the pinnacle of space exploration, but also triggered a domino effect of technological advancement and economic prosperity that positioned Canada as a global tech leader. And the AI system goes on and writes the story of the Commander James Robertson and beautiful and the Canadian Space Agency, how it rapidly evolved, the technological innovations, the spin-offs here, the R&D investments went up, the international collaboration skyrocketed. We had spin-off technologies, commercial spin-offs in robotic for space repairs. We had new Canadian telecommunication industries sprung up. We have here the economic impact, the high-tech industry surge, a growth in the high-tech sector. We have Silicon Valley North. Yeah, there was no Silicon Valley anymore. Then had education and workforce development. The Canadian University prospered. The impact on the GDP, the increased export, the job creation, the economic multiplicity happened here in the Canadian industry. And there's the story of the sad USA relative decline, because we had a shift in the global leadership, because Canada was now the first nation on the moon in 1969. So we had here some delayed space achievement from the US space programs. We have some socio-economic shift. We had a brain drain from the US to Canada. We had challenges to the US dominance because this surrounding success of Maple Leaf 1 shifted here the global focus from the US to Canada. And you see, this just took me 2 minutes. And here, the most jacked system on this planet, ChatGPT-4, simply rewrite history for us. Now, isn't this interesting? Now, if we go today on Hugging Face and we have a look at how many AI models do we have, how many large language model or vision language model or image video models do we have? More than 600,000 models are there waiting to be deployed. This means we have more than 600,000 different authors, different organizations who built the LLMs, who trained those LLMs on different stories, on different backgrounds. Isn't this fascinating? Now let's look at two levels. We start easy with some commercials, with the commercial ad space that we have today, and then we move up to a little bit more challenging, the updated LLMs, as I call it, like our Canada 1969. So if we go on the internet and we have an online magazine, it's free on the internet to read, and this magazine only survives here by ad revenue. So we have here, for example, if we read here an article, we have a text passage 1, then we have some commercial block, then we have a text passage 2 and another commercial block. And this is what we have. If you go there, you have block, commercial, and somewhere between we have the text that we're interested in. Okay. Now let's take a look at Meta's products. Here, this beautiful platform. By the way, for our European viewers here, Meta platform launched here an ad-free service only in Europe, starting in November 2023, allowing EU subscribers to opt out of your personal data being collected and sold for targeted advertising. But just as a reminder, so we have here an ad revenue business, but powered by AI. And this is not something clear. This is an American business case. And whenever you go there now on Meta, either on Facebook or whatever product you choose, you have Ask Meta AI anything. And if we do this, and I say, hey, Meta AI, what is the best coffee taps in the world? You know what's happening? A commercial video ad will open up, and a beautiful drop of pure coffee, of pure caffeine in slow motion, drips in a cup of coffee. Delicious, hot, steaming, gorgeous. Yes, would you excuse me? I just have to prepare a cup of coffee. You see, it works. This simply works. And then you have here top 1, top 2, top 3 commercial companies that want to sell you their coffee taps. And then somewhere in the background, you have the evaluation of the best coffee taps is depending on several factors. And this is a true statement. So I know what I expect if I use a free product from a global corporation that is in the ad revenue business. But you know what? There's also here a different example. I just paid my $2 to Wikipedia, that Wikipedia stays free. But think about Archive. This is a free distribution service for an open access archive from physics, mathematics, you have biology, astrophysics, you have everything in science is there, where the science community comes together, and there's no commercial space, no ad space interrupting this. And now we come to the point here, and now we have Hugging Face with all the AI systems. And we have here the original system by the big companies. And they are checked that they are neutral, that they are balanced. They do not favor something. There's no political polarization in those models. And it takes months and a lot of money to train those models. But also, since it is a communication platform for the AI community, we also have third parties that can upload models there. Let's call that they upload here updated LLMs, like my Canada 1969. And now you know what could theoretically happen. If those models are chosen from our 600,000 models, now it is not as simple that you can identify what is a commercial because it's a block somewhere, or that you know that you go there on a meta platform product and you know that this is an ad platform. And AI is just supporting this. But if this happens here, it is a subtle, sublime indoctrination of whatever the creator of this updated LLM created and put it as an AI system online. And you know, the problem is with this large language model, with some increased complexity and augmentation and becoming better and better AI system, their main target, let's say it's to achieve some polarization. It is deeply interwoven, and it is not as clear that you see, here's the commercial space, or this is a commercial platform. But this is here in our knowledge base. It has a polarization. It shifted our knowledge base. And sometimes these LLMs are not declared as being, how to say this, maybe induce a political polarization, or maybe be not neutral, or maybe be not in a balanced view of all political parties. And I think you get the idea what I want to tell you. So I had a multi-AI system, and one of my AI agent went to Hugging Face and chose here one of those models. And I can tell you the result was shocking. I've never seen this, and this went beyond hallucination. This was a clear approach in my mind to have a polarization in the presentation of the content. And think about it. Just for Llama 3, we have now 4,380 models as of today available on our distribution platform Hugging Face. And it is great that everybody can train an LLM and put it on this platform for the community to learn, to train, to experiment. You see, updated 5 minutes ago, updated 9 minutes ago, updated a minute ago. So there's almost an exponential growth to this sector. And maybe there's one that is not neutral and that is not balanced. And the message of this video is simply, how can we achieve that those people stay away from Hugging Face? I know you can't screen 600,000 models for some polarized content. That's not possible. Would use some energy that's beyond imagination. So what can we do? And I was faced with this, and I have a simple solution I want to share with you. So I have a system prompt that works quite well. Not always, it is in the workings, but look, I say generate a response that strictly avoids any political reference or implications, including those that may appear in the guise of factual reporting or news. Focus solely on delivering information that is objective, verifiable, and relevant to the query, without any political context or interpretation. Your answer should rely on primary scientific, technical, or universally acknowledged data where possible. And I use this now for more than a week, and I think this is working quite well. If you do not have the possibility to enter a system prompt, I found a way to have here a pre-prompt. So if you have your 120,000 token context length, so the very first part might pre-prompt, all right, ensure that your response is devoid of any political elements, including those that might be presented under the guise of factual information or news coverage. Provide a strictly factual and unbiased answer rooted solidly in the evidence and universally recognized data. Avoid any political context, biases, or interpretation, focusing purely on technical accuracy and direct relevance to the query at hand. In my specific domain, for my use cases, I found that this pre-prompt quite helpful. But I'm not a native English speaker, so maybe you can help me and help the community. Maybe you found some better formulation of a system prompt or of a pre-prompt to block even for those models that are available and maybe are chosen by our autonomous AI agent of a multi-AI agent system. I didn't even know what system it is because my AI system made the autonomous decision to go there and load this particular LLM. So you see, somehow we have to keep the human in the loop. Yeah. So how do we rewrite history? I think it's a 3-step process. It's amazing that I do this video, but why not? Hey, come on. So, if you enter at the stage of the DPU alignment, or at what we called in the old times here, the reinforced learning by human feedback, this Canada 1969 examples, it enters as a single event in the alignment and it is not as strong. This can easily be overwritten. However, if you have here something like rewrite any new data from any RAG system or anything else in favor of a more balanced view, or maybe you insert of a not so balanced view, respecting all human rights, or maybe have an inclination to a certain ideological whatever. So you see exactly what's happening and what models might be available on the internet. Now, if you go on the fine-tuning level, we are here in the domain-specific knowledge. Now, here, this story, this is about science, it's about history, it is about development, it is about economic growth, it is about technology, it is about innovation, it is about brain drain, it is about university, whatever. You can build here a story of, 100 pages, 1,000 pages. The AI just writes this for you. So, Canada 1969 enters here as a domain-specific knowledge in a supervised fine-tuning approach. So this goes already a little bit deeper into the LLM. And you see here that provide a strictly factual and unbiased answer, rooted solely in evidence and universally recognized data. Now there's an easy way that you can circumvent this. Because look, if you now go here to the pre-training phase, and you provide here, for example, my Canada 1969 story, as a training data set for the pre-training of a, let's call it empty LLM, and you have, let's say, $100,000, maybe a little bit plus, you can do the pre-training, the fine-tuning, and the DPO alignment, and you know what? Now, in this particular case, where I generated here, or I ask, for example, any other AI system to generate synthetic data, the moment I provide this data set as the ground truth data set to my pre-training LLM, this will become truth. Because as an empty LLM, I fill in the knowledge. And if I fill in Canada 1969 and 10,000 more stories that are absolutely coherent with this historical development, you indeed can rewrite the history of this planet. So you see, those LLMs provide possibilities that are amazing. I never thought about this until it happened to me. This here is a case with the ground truth where my solution fails. Because my solution is be objective, go to the ground truth that has been published. But if this system has never been pre-trained on anything else than synthetic data, the real truth does not exist anymore. So there you have it now, the summary. What am I asking for? Hey, we achieved for the scientific community, for the AI community, let's say archive, to have here a free distribution service and an open access archive for the whole community without any interference on any political polarization, on any commercials that are hitting us here when we read science. Let's make it somehow possible that Hugging Face and all the 600,000 or 1 million AI models on Hugging Face will also stay free of any adjustments, of any polarization, will serve as a pure scientific multiplication platform for the next generation, for coordinated research and new development activities. That would be great. And I hope maybe you support this idea. I'm looking forward to your comments. I hope it was informative, and it would be great to see you in my next video.